Welcome back, Sparsha. How are you?
I am good. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. It was amazing, how the conversations with the students for session 7,
Yeah.
and I bet they were as shocked as the rest of us hearing about all the statistics around intensification, um, agricultural intensification. So session 8 now talks about animal ethics. So could you define animal ethics for us, please?
Absolutely. So, I think that's a great question because that really is at the heart of what this session is about. We'll start by defining it. I think in in European and American and in the United States, what we've seen over time is that ethics around rights has diminished, and we're seeing more work around welfare, and these are two different paradigms, really. Welfare is about more of changes to the way animals are being kept to reduce their suffering, but it doesn't necessarily challenge the underlying use itself. Whereas animal rights argues that a being has a right to not be either owned or used for human purposes. So that's such a great question. That's something that we're going to explore in the class, and I hope to really problematize this even a little bit further, because I think the other thing that will come out very clearly in this class is that you have this very dominant uh, kind of paradigm around animal ethics, and that there's some good work being done, but you don't see as much inclusion of some of the other voices that come from ecofeminism, like Carol Adams, or, for instance, Afrofuturism, like AFCO, collective liberation, like Christopher Sebastian. So I want to make sure that the students in the course are being exposed to those ideas, because it's those ideas that have really shaped my thinking on the issue, which I'll also talk about in the course, to kind of explain how we tend to associate caring for animals with liberal Western traditions, but that couldn't be further from the truth. And actually, when you look back hundreds and thousands of years, it's Eastern and specifically South Asian traditions, but also indigenous traditions all over the world that provide a really big role for animals in their politics.
Yeah. Do you see that the politics in this country is really shaped, or more recently shaped, with the welfare paradigm versus the rights paradigm,
Yeah,
and
it, it,
and
it
what is the impact? Would you be talking about that a little bit in the
we
upcoming?
we definitely will be, and I think this is a complex topic, and I'm sympathetic to those on the animal welfare side of this who argue, well, what else can we do? Like, obviously we want the other one, we want animals not to be used at all, but this is what we can get, right? And I'm very sympathetic to that, because I do see a use in breaking the taboo. So I think that the more we start to think about animals, even if we're saying, yeah, let's give them a bit more room, I do think that that gets it on the agenda in some way, which is important. But I also think that there are some drawbacks to that, where you can it works into people's rationalization a
Yeah.
little bit better. So people have a lot of guilt around eating meat, and so if they think, oh, well, it's solved now, but it's
Mm.
not really solved, right? Because a little bit more space, or a commitment by or by a company to that will give the chickens a little bit more space, sometimes that doesn't happen. Sometimes it doesn't get follow through, but consumers might be thinking, well, it's all done, we're good now,
Right.
right? So we'll be having that debate, we'll be having that discussion.
Yeah, yeah. And I guess that, a big role obviously is played by marketing and advertising, because that's direct
Yeah.
to consumer, and that's exactly what a lot of these companies choose to present to
Yeah.
the consumer with. And we know that there's a lot of greenwashing involved, and they talk about humane meat and grass-fed beef and those sorts of things. So the both the vocabulary as well as the visuals of what eventually the story that's told to the consumer helps the consumer in rationalizing some of that, and that's the other end of welfare.
You hit the nail on the head. That's why it's the humane washing and greenwashing is just so effective, because it plays exactly into what consumers are hoping for. They want to believe, right, that their meat is, and dairy and eggs are coming from good places that are kind to animals. So they want that, and then the humane washing and greenwashing delivers it.
Absolutely. I mean, it delivers the good news. We all want to hear about our bad habits.
Exactly.
And yeah, so animal ethics. So do you think that this is the first ever course that really includes non-human ethics in
Um,
addition to human ethics?
I think in a course as broad as this, yes, there are certainly courses at the college and at the law school, for instance, that dig into the thinking about non-human ethics. But I don't think that you're going to find a course on food and the environment that brings in non-human ethics. So if I had to guess, yes, I think it might be.
Yeah, excellent. Well, the students are in for yet another amazing session coming up in the form of animal ethics and its impact and politics. Thank you so much, Sparsha, for everything that you're doing.
So much, Nivi. I'll see you soon.
Okay, we'll see you then.